everybody. We're going to be doing some cooking today. After we read our story, The Little Red Hen, we saw that she baked some delicious bread that smelled good. So I thought we would make a kind of bread called biscuits because they're a little faster to make than a loaf of bread, and then you could try it at home if you have the ingredients. Okay, so let's look at my recipe over here. This is how to make some easy biscuits, and this is just going to make about 4 biscuits, so you can make the recipe bigger if you were going to make more. All right, so I need a 2/3 cup of flour. I need 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 2 tablespoons of butter. And that butter I put in the freezer to make it really cold. Okay, and then 1/4 cup of milk. All right, so let's see what else we need. So to make it, we're gonna need a pan to bake in the oven. We're gonna need a bowl for mixing. Here's my measuring cups for measuring the ingredients and my measuring spoons. And then I also have a fork, and this is to smash the butter into the flour and mix it up. Okay, so I remember it needs 2/3 cup of flour. So first, I'm gonna put the flour into my bowl. So I have to pour it, and this cup says 2/3 on it. Okay, there's 2/3 cup, and we are gonna put it in the bowl. Plop. There's all my flour. All right, next I need my baking powder, and it says I need a teaspoon of that. So here's my baking powder. Take off the lid, find my teaspoon. Here's my teaspoon, and I'm gonna get a scoop of baking powder. There's 1 teaspoon, put it in the bowl. Find my, where did I put my lid? There it is, put the lid back on. Next I need my sugar. I have a big thing of sugar, but I only need a teaspoon of sugar too. My jar got a little sticky and dirty from all the cooking we've been doing. Okay, here's 1 teaspoon of sugar in the bowl. Close up my jar of sugar. And next, I need my salt. The salt said it needs a 1/4 teaspoon. See, this is a little bit smaller. Open it up, pour my salt in. There we go, and put it in the bowl. Close up my salt. And now it's time for the butter. But before I put the butter in, I'm gonna mix up my ingredients. So stir it, stir it, stir it, stir it. So here's the flour, just like the Little Red Hen. Remember, she grew some wheat and she ground it into flour. So this is the flour with some salt and baking soda and a little bit of sugar. Okay, so there it is, it's all dry, and I'm gonna put in my frozen butter. And I tried to chop it up a little bit because that's better for it. That's how we're gonna make our biscuit dough nice and flaky. Okay, so here's my butter in the flour. I'm gonna mix it around, and then I'm gonna try and mush it a little bit so it goes, I get little chunks of butter all through the dough. Okay, and the colder your butter is, the better. There we go, looks about right. Okay, so I have my chunks of butter in my flour mixture, and now it's gonna be time for that milk. And it says I need a 1/4 cup, which is this little cup right here. So I'm gonna open up my milk, get a 1/4 cup, pour it in. Here we go, goes in the bowl. Okay. And then I want to make sure and put the lid on my milk. Right. And then I'm gonna stir up my mixture. Okay, we don't wanna stir it too much. You just wanna get all the ingredients to kind of stick together with the milk. Oh, perfect. Okay. So here are all my ingredients. All right. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take my little 1/4 cup and get myself a little scoop of my biscuit mixture, push it in there a little bit, and then if I can get it to come out, I might have to use my fork and make it come out. And it's okay if it's a little floppy. We can also just mix it. Obviously that doesn't work very well. You can make it into a little ball instead. There we go. Okay, Actually, let's do that with all the rest of it. So remember, I was gonna make 4 biscuits. So I'm gonna take my clean hands, get a little scoop, and kind of just barely squeeze it into a ball. Smush it down, okay? I made 2 biscuits so far, and I'm making 4 today. So I'm getting myself another scoop, rolled it into a ball, smush it down. There's 3 biscuits. Time for my last biscuit. Okay, all my ingredients here. Get it into a ball. Squish, 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 but not too hard. Smush it down. I see there's just a little bit more dough here, so I'll make that biscuit just a little bit bigger. Perfect. Okay. All right. There is my biscuit mixture. Now, it needs to go in the oven at 425 degrees. And it needs to go in there for about 10 to 15 minutes. You gotta smell it, just like in the story. Remember when they could smell the bread was ready? You'll be able to start smelling it. So I would say wait about 10 minutes or until it's looking golden brown, and then really keep an eye on it if it's not quite ready yet. Okay, and there you go. Now we're making our own bread, but they're little biscuits. Okay, thanks everyone. Have fun.